Hi everybody. In this particular question we're being asked to find the inverse or specify the inverse of the function here. Okay, now notice in this case right here that it's just given to us as a function here, so all we got to do here is swap the x and the y coordinates. Oops, sorry. Because that's essentially what an inverse does, is it just takes the horizontal and vertical components of a graph and swaps them. Now we got to be careful in this particular case though. Okay, it would help right now to consider what this looks like. This is a radical function that has been shifted 2 to the right. So 1, 2, so it's going to look like this. Okay, now notice, and I hope you've seen this before, notice that this really does kind of look like the top half of a horizontal parabola. Okay, the positive part of a horizontal parabola. So vertically, the positive part here. I want you to keep that in mind here, because in a second we're going to do something here. Now we're going to swap the x and the y, and that is correct. That is the inverse. That's really all I needed to do here, but we don't typically leave it like that. We're going to isolate the y here. So first of all, to get rid of that radical, I'm going to square both sides. So I get x squared is equal to y minus 2. Put the y over here, and then I'm going to bring the 2 over. So I've got x squared plus 2. Now there's a problem here, because x squared plus 2 looks like this. Oh, that's terrible. Hold on. That's ridiculous. 1, 2. It's going to look, oh, I did it again. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's a parabola that opens up like this, but notice there's 2 distinct parts to it. Okay, the original here did not have that. The original kind of split right in the center here and only gave me the positive, vertically the positive part of it. So what I kind of have to do here to get the accurate inverse is I have to restrict the domain on this thing. Okay, the domain here has to be restricted. Now this was restricted to just the positive, vertically the positive half of this. So what I need to do here is restrict this horizontally to the positive half, and I do that, okay, because that will cut it in half right there by simply stating that x is greater than or equal to 0. Because up here, the range of this thing was y was greater than or equal to 0. That came out naturally because of the definition of that radical function. I have to force this here, okay, because with a parabola, that is not a natural restriction. There is no restriction there naturally. So what I have to do is I have to do this to drop off that back half there. But all I'm really doing here is swapping the range of the original with the domain of the inverse.